The Caviar Freezer Mom. No one ever warned Margaret Holloway that grief would make people greedy. When her husband Henry died, the house didn't feel empty at first. It felt quiet, the kind of quiet that settles into your bones. His chair still held the shape of him. His coat still smelled faintly of tobacco and winter air. His tools lay neatly where he'd left them, as if he might return at any moment to finish what he'd started. For 52 years, the plan she wasn't meant to hear. Over the following weeks, Daniel and Karen visited often. Too often. They brought casseroles no one ate. They offered help that felt more like inspections. Karen opened drawers without asking. Daniel measured doorways, just in case. One afternoon, Margaret stood quietly at the top of the stairs, while their voices floated up from the living room. "There's a nursing home outside town," Karen said. "Cheap, clean enough. She'll be fine." Daniel hesitated. "She built this house with Dad." Karen scoffed. "She won't know the difference in a year, and once the house is sold, we can finally renovate the place we want." Margaret's hand tightened around the banister. She has to sign things soon, before she gets confused. Margaret did not cry. She did not confront them. She went downstairs later, smiled softly, and asked if they wanted tea. That night, she made a decision. The quiet preparation. Margaret had never been reckless. She'd raised a child, balanced budgets, survived illness, and buried the love of her life. She understood patience. The next morning, she unlocked the desk Henry built and pulled out the files she hadn't touched in years. Appraisals, receipts, certificates of authenticity. The antiques weren't just sentimental, they were valuable. The clock alone could fund a small life. The paintings, the silver, the furniture, each piece told a story. Each carried weight. Margaret called an auction house in the city, then a charity, then a lawyer. She moved carefully, quietly, like a woman tidying her life. The items left the house one by one. A moving truck came early mornings when neighbors were still asleep. The auctioneer treated her with kindness, never rushing, never questioning. When the last heirloom was gone, Margaret walked through the rooms and felt lighter. But she wasn't finished. The freezer. Margaret had never liked extravagance, but she liked choice. She drove herself to a gourmet